Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about another Serge Lutens. As I promised you, the two fragrances that I haven't talked about in my previous video are going to be two separate videos themselves. Now in this video we're going to talk about Dans le bleu qui pétille, and this is without a doubt for me the best discovery of the year, at least the year. I love this fragrance so much. The first time I smelled it, I realized this was going to be very, very special indeed for me, and it is. It's a fragrance I got over the holidays. It arrived to me where I was, and it's the fragrance I've worn the most. I've worn the most over the holidays because, and even after that. Because I just cannot get enough of it. It's simply a very, very good surprise. Now, Dans le bleu qui pétille was launched in 2020, so not so long ago. Let me just spray this, although I want to do this. I can't, because I still have one video to go for today. Oh my goodness. First time I smelled it, what hit me was it's an incense, right? It's olibanum, pure and simple olibanum at first, combined with coriander, which is, as a coincidence, in those days I had just received and smelled l'herbe du désert marocain, and then I smelled this, and the combination of incense and coriander to me were very, very similar to that of Andy Tower, and they still are. I think the opening of Dans le bleu qui pétille is very, very similar to Andy Tower's l'herbe du désert marocain, but that's not it. It really isn't where things will, finish. And where things will finish is, quite the surprise. And this is why I think the fragrance speaks to me as much. I can't help but to praise Christopher Sheldrake on this for the sheer, creativity. This is ultimately a marine scent. And because I know it and because I'm familiar with it now, I can smell future stages that are just in development. I wasn't able at start, it just, the incense was just so powerful. But as time passes, this fragrance delves deeper into a very blue, very dark, and very salty ocean water. It smells of driftwood. It's a very woody scent, start to finish, that's for sure. It has that salty algae spray. It's nothing short of a miracle, this scent, and I hear it's discontinued, which is, it's a crime basically, because this is one of the most original and creative, and the sheer beauty of this scent, the name, everything. Dans le bleu qui pétille means into the blue or into the deep that sparkles. And indeed, it's the freshness of the scent that comes as such a surprise, because usually for such an incense heavy scent, it's a blessing to see that this veers into almost a blue fresh scent. The smell isn't that far from 90s aquatics. It's got something from CK1, it's got something from the way that watery 90s type of smell, aquatic, marine, sea spray, freshness combined with this incense is just so, it describes me so well. I mean, this is first and foremost, I think, the type of smell that I adore. This is what I want in a fragrance. This, never a fragrance has touched me like this. I mean, not never, but in a very, very long time. And they took, I mean, I keep calling them they, but it's actually just him, Christopher Sheldrake, how he used the depth and the power of the incense and the darkness of the incense to create the opposite of the upwards trend that incense kind of has, to veer it downwards and submerge it into the deep. It's amazing. It is just, I've got goosebumps. I mean, I love this fragrance so much. And it's just so, the dry down of this fragrance is, I don't even know, I don't know the composition, I don't know the ingredients for this. It's a mystery to me how he managed to create this impression of the sea, of the ocean. It might be ambroxane, but it's not, doesn't have the feel of ambroxane. It might as well be, I don't know. However, what I do need to say and compare it to is another fragrance that, if you recall, stole my heart at the end of the year, at the end of 2023, and this was Bosca Vanilla, Aqua Liguria Forte Bosca Vanilla, which is, you know, quite similar to Dans le bleu qui pétille. They are both very, very similar scents. Now, where they differ, I'm not going to spray Bosca Vanilla because this one is so potent. It's almost obnoxiously potent. I mean, it's going to steal all of the attention, and I don't want to do that. They are quite similar. They differ when it comes to the, you know, the depth of Dans les Bleus. The incense is not there in Bosca Vanilla. The dry down is quite similar. The idea is the same. It's driftwood, salty driftwood, slightly ambery, with algae and just hints of vanilla, because even though this is called Bosca Vanilla, vanilla is not center stage, or it's not the typical vanilla you might expect from Guerlain. So if you haven't smelled this one, do give it a try, because it is amazing. Now, when it comes to balance, you know, my new favorite word, I think Serge Lutens manages to pull off the balance, where sadly Bosca Vanilla does not. That isn't to say Bosca Vanilla isn't a beautiful and very gorgeous scent that I do love. But when it comes to everyday use, I find myself reaching out for Dans les Bleus a lot more than for Bosca Vanilla. Bosca Vanilla, and they do work well together. You can layer them. However, I wear Bosca Vanilla when I need something stronger, and it works wonders. This is very, very strong, Bosca Vanilla. Not to say that Dans les Bleus isn't a strong scent, but it's nowhere near as strong as this monster here. This is obnoxious, as I said. But Dans les Bleus managed to touch me in ways I wasn't touched in a long time. And this is saying quite a lot. I mean, it's beautiful when a fragrance manages to be the best at more things than one, genre or one domain. Because this is both a very, or one of the most interesting incense scents I've ever smelled. That's for sure. I mean, it puts to, I don't want to say to shame, but it definitely is much more interesting than anything I've smelled from Filippo Sorcinelli, who does work a lot with incense. But it's this incense that I happen to love a lot more, which is fresher, brighter, sparkly, bluer. It's just more interesting. And it also manages to be a very, very interesting marine scent. And at some time I will want to speak, I imagine myself speaking of all the oceanics I've got, because there have been oceanic, and marine is one of the genres I love the most. They just, they just speak to me, they just represent me. I don't know why. It's something I yearn for, I search for in fragrances. And definitely I will be putting Dans les Bleus qui Pétillent very high on that list. Very, very high. Now, I think that's all I can say for now for Dans les Bleus qui Pétillent. Again, I have to apologize for, lifelong fans of Serge Lutens. I don't know all the things there is to be known about Serge Lutens. I'm just learning. But let me tell you, Dans les Bleus qui Pétillent is one of the best scents I've ever smelled, period. And for this, I have to thank two people. One is the person that actually sent me the sample, the box of Serge Lutens and other things. And the other one is another person from Instagram who recommended me that I try Dans les Bleus qui Pétillent. And you know who you are. I don't have to mention you. And thank you so much to both of you. So, if you've got any other questions regarding the fragrances I've mentioned today, do let me know in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.